Good morning. This morning we are with Josh Estrella. He is the president of National Association of Letter Carriers, branch 485 here in Hutchinson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. This is that time of year again. The second Saturday of May is rolling around this weekend, and that means it's time for the National Association of Letter Carriers Stamp Out Hunger Drive.
That is correct. Every second Saturday of May, the Stamp Out Hunger Letter Carrier Food Drive takes place across over 2,000 post offices nationwide. It is something that the letter carriers here in town look forward to because we can really fill up our food bank and help them get through the summer months and into the fall.
Yeah, that seems like that's a big point of the summer. It just the strain on the food banks gets greater because the kids aren't in school and more at home. How long have you been associated with this?
Well, this is my 22nd year down at the post office. This will be my 20th year as a letter carrier. So this will be my 20th food drive. It is something that like I said, every letter carrier down there looks forward to, and we kind of look at it as a way to give back to our community even more than what we already do.
So, what's your goal for the year?
Our goal this year, I've kind of pumped it up to 25,000 pounds. Before COVID hit, we were almost at 30,000 pounds. Since the pandemic ended, unfortunately, we haven't reached a 20,000 pound limit. But this year, we are really making a strong push, putting more things out there, more flyers, more information to try to get that 25,000 pound goal.
So tell me, do you have any idea how many pounds of food you've collected over the 20 years?
No, but I can tell you nationwide, since it started back in 1993, the letter carriers have collected over 1 billion pounds of food. So, here in Reno County, it'd be hard to tell, because it was around for several years before I started down there. But we just hope each year gets a little better and better.
And the food that you collect, that goes to the Reno County Food Bank, correct?
That is correct. 100% of what we collect gets processed and stays right here in Reno County. So nothing gets sent to other communities, and everything that you donate will give back to the people that live here in this community that are in great need.
Have you seen any firsthand results of this food drive?
Well, since we're out in the community delivering mail 6 days a week, people do stop and talk to us. They always mention, how it's a great thing to be able to do this for the community. You get to know people in the community that use the food bank to help get their families fed, and so it just makes you feel good that you're able to do a small part in what it takes to get this thing done. So
tell us how this all works out. I mean, how do you want people to leave their food?
We'll put a postcard and a sack in your mailbox, and you can just put the food that you want to donate back into that sack, set it out by your mailbox, and we'll pick it up. If you are not going to be home on Saturday, you can set it out anytime after you receive the sack and even into the following week. We want to be sure that we give you every opportunity to donate whatever you'd like to donate. We just ask that there's no glass items. Unfortunately, those things will get broke in transit, and sometimes will ruin the food that we can give to the food bank. And then we ask that you check for donation or your expiration dates. Anything that we collect that has it's already expired, we have to throw those things in the trash. And also, I'd like to point out that if you want to give a monetary donation, you could write a check out to the Reno County Food Bank. Just place that in the envelope. Write Reno County Food Bank on the outside. You do not have to put a stamp on it, and your letter carrier will give it to the food bank people down there when they get back to the post office.
So how does Saturday work? You collect all the food while you're doing your route?
Yes. As we go along collecting or delivering the mail, we collect the food, we put it in the back of our mail trucks. About midway through the day, we have letter carriers that are off that day, or retirees, family members. If we need to, they'll come out and empty our trucks, because sometimes our trucks will get overburdened with food because we still have mail and packages in the back of our truck. And then we take those down to the post office. The food bank has a group of people there to help process the food, and then they load it up in the trucks and then takes it straight to the food bank.
I know you said you don't want items that are in glass containers. Are there any specifics that the food bank has told you that they're looking for in, those types of items that they're in real need for?
They're always in need in canned fruits, canned chicken, cereals, pancake mix, pancake syrup, tuna, things like that. That's basically, like an everyday household, something that people eat on an everyday basis.
All righty, sir. We are talking with Josh Estrella this morning. He is the president of the National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 485. We are talking about the Stamp Out Hunger event coming up on May 9th. We'll be back with more with him right after this. And we're back on the BW Morning Show. This morning we're with Josh Estrella. He is the president of Branch 485 of the National Association of Letter Carriers. And this Saturday is the annual Stamp Out Hunger event. This started in 1993. What kind of background do you know of why this got started?
Well, the post office and the National Association of Letter Carriers have always looked at a way to give back to our community. They held food drives in different communities, but never on the same day. And so to make this event a bigger event than what it already was, they just got together, picked the second Saturday of May. That way, when they sent out materials for advertisement and things like that, everybody could be doing it on the same day.
It makes it more common, and that way, if you move from town to town, it's the same day.
Yes.
We talked about the types of food that the food bank is looking for, and of course, the fact that they don't want glass containers. Are there things that you see that are more popular than the others?
Cereal is a big popular item. A lot of kids like to eat cereal. Any kind of crackers that you can get them through the day between meals if the kids get hungry, things like that. Things that are kind of easy to make, that doesn't take, a lot of extra stuff to make a meal out of it or something like that, peanut butter, your jellies, things like that. So basically, anything that we can pick up to fill the food bank is what we want to pick up for that day.
Okay. I know that this is, this is a group effort, but are there competitions between letter carriers to see who can bring in the most?
Yes, there is. When we get back to the post office, we unload our trucks and we'll weigh how much food each carrier brings in. We have somebody that will write down the weight, and then when your food gets weighed and processed, all the letter carriers like to see how much they collect. They're always asking who brought in the most. So if you want to help your letter carrier be able to claim that top spot, I urge you to put as much food out there as you can. Make him work up a sweat, help him become the number one spot, because we do take pride in being able to say that I brought in the most food off my route.
So who won the top spot last year?
It was a route on the west side of town, Route 26. That's a hard route to beat. It just seems like those people come together in that area of town and put out a lot of food. So I would like to be number one. I have yet to not break the top 5. So if you know me and you know me to be your letter carrier, put as much food as you can out for me to pick up.
All right. We talk about the fact that you're collecting and the fact that people are giving this food to you. What kind of feeling does it give you once you guys have collected all of that food and make that donation?
It makes us feel really good because we are out in the community 6 days a week. We see the need that our community has. We talk to people face to face. We see their hardships that they go through. We develop relationships with these people. A lot of carriers have been on their route 10, 15 years. So you get to know them. They're like your friends. They're like sometimes they become like family members. So we take great pride in when we're out on our route bringing food, because we know that this is staying right here in Reno County and helping the people of this town that are in great need.
I think it's important that people know that, everything that you guys collect on Saturday or associated with this drive, everything stays here in Reno County and it supports those people in Reno County.
That is correct.
What if you have a rural route, or does this extend to those routes outside of the town?
I'm glad you brought that up because our rural routers will take part in this food drive. So they will be also delivering the cards and the sacks. And so they also look forward to helping out the community as well.
And so, it's not just the Hutchinson letter carriers, it's letter carriers in the county. What about the smaller towns like Bueller and Pretty Prairie and, say, Arlington and Nickerson like that? Are their carriers involved as well?
Well, unfortunately, no. Like Haven, Nickerson, they pretty much have most of their mail delivered in P.O. boxes. They do, the people that do live outside of town do have a rural route carrier. But you have to have somebody in your post office willing to be the food drive coordinator, to get the supplies you need and to make sure that the people pass out the cards and the sacks and things like that. So unfortunately, even though they do live in Reno County, what we can do at our station is only do like the South Hutch and the surrounding.
Let me ask you, if there's somebody in one of those communities, is there a way that they could donate, say, if they wanted to bring it into the post office and donate it at the post office? Is that an option for them?
Yes. You can just take a bag of items that you want to donate up to your post office, tell them it's for the food drive. We will find a way to get it down to the Reno County Food Bank. If I have to drive to Nickerson, Haven, or whatever to pick it up myself, I'm willing to do that. So just tell the clerk or the postmaster in that town that this is for the Reno County Food Bank, and they can just call to the Hutch station and tell them they have some food that needs to be picked up.
All right. Once again, remind everybody when this is and the logistics.
This will be the second Saturday of May. We will be passing out the cards on Tuesday. Just put your food out to the mailbox early that morning, and then we will pick it up. I will say, if you put your food in your mailbox or you have a money that you want to donate to the food bank, be sure you put your flag up just in case you don't have mail. We'll be sure to stop and pick it up. If you're not in town, you can drop it off anytime next week or even the week after, and we'll be sure to pick it up and take it to the food bank.
All right, sir. I appreciate your time this morning. We have been talking with Josh Estrella. He is the president of the local branch 485 of the National Association of Letter Carriers. Good luck this coming Saturday in collecting, and hopefully you'll win the top spot.
Thank you. I'll be reporting back to let you guys know how we did.
We'll be back with more BW News right after this. This is KWBW Hutchinson, Kansas.